In today's video, join me as I clean up and add a touch of Halloween enchantment to my porch. This decor will be short-lived as I plan to transform it into a spooky witch's lair in the coming weeks, but I still couldn't resist the urge to infuse some fun right now. Hi, I'm Jackie and welcome to My Magical Home, a place where I like to share all kinds of creative homemaking content. In today's video, we are going to be styling my front porch with some Halloween fun. And we're going to start out by making 2 spider-inspired DIY creations. Let's go. We're going to begin by pinning the grapevine wreath garland to my wreath to ensure that everything stays where I want it and to help ensure that I get the perfect cut. I then brought in some small gauge copper wire and I used it to connect the grapevine to the spider's web wreath. I continued to do this in each spot that I had used a clip previously. With the grapevine wreath securely attached with that copper wire, it's time to bring in some floral. All of the floral items that I am using came from Michael's, and I will have them listed in the description down below. You will see that I'm using a dark feathery fern as well as a sharp fern, and then I'm also going to be using a purple mushroom pick that I picked apart, and just a tiny bit of moss. Now it's time to add in those purple mushrooms. You can see that I'm staggering the mushrooms from side to side on the wreath to give them a more realistic look. As this is a spider's web wreath, it wouldn't be complete without a spider, of course, so I headed to my local stores. I hit up basically every store that I could look for Halloween items, but we had a special one this year because it is our first year having a Spirit Halloween. I was so excited about that. In the end, I picked out a package of fuzzy spiders from Lowe's and a larger matching spider from Walmart. To attach my larger spider, I used a piece of copper wire twisted around the middle to affix it to the wreath. And I colored the wire black using a Sharpie marker so that it didn't stand out. I thought that this would look nice in the upper right-hand corner since the floor additions and everything were kind of skewed to the left. Now we are going to secure 2 pieces of fishing line to the back of 2 spiders. I decided to use a big spider as well as a little one. And it is important to make sure that your fishing line is coming from the back of the spider. It wouldn't be appropriate for it to be coming from where the face of the spider is. I then used fishing line to tie the spider to my wreath. I tried to put them at different heights to add dimension. I thought it would be a lot of fun to add the large spider to the web itself and then hang a couple from fishing line so it appears like they're hanging from a silky spider's thread. So this is the wreath and I think it turned out just perfect. I'm so happy and I think this is going to make the perfect addition to the front door this year. Now, that being said, I have a lot of little spiders left over in my pack and I really want to find a fun way to use them. So I turned to magnets, of course. This DIY is so easy, it's almost sinful to call it a DIY. But basically, I'm just adding magnets to the back of these spiders. By hot gluing the spider to the magnet, you can make it look as though the spiders are crawling all over the front door. For such an inexpensive idea with random scraps, I can't be more happy with the way these little spider friends turned out, and I'm sure they're just going to add the perfect touch crawling up the door this season. That's a wrap on our DIY projects for today. It is time for us to head out to the porch so that we can finish this cleaning and decorating project. Before we get started, I want to give you a quick overview of how the porch was looking before I began. It was definitely neglected and in need of some help. So the inspiration for today's video and this entire project really came when I headed to Lowe's and found an insane flower clearance. I'm telling you guys, some of these plants were as little as 50 cents. I have always admired the beauty of fall flower-adorned porches, but spending a lot of money on them hasn't been in my plans. This sale presented the perfect chance to turn that vision into a reality. I began tidying up the porch by removing everything that didn't belong, sweeping away the fallen leaves, and clearing the delicate webs that had settled in the corners and on various items. I utilized a mini cinnamon broom to tidy up a small collection of rusty cauldrons that I had, and I was pleasantly surprised by its effectiveness. The experience was just delightful, as a scent of cinnamon just filled the air while I cleaned. My bench also required a thorough cleaning as it was coated in sap from the beautiful trees that are overhead. While these trees are truly magnificent, they do create quite the mess. For years, I have daydreamed about replacing the lighting fixture on our porch. It is honestly the same rusty relic that was there when we bought the house almost 20 years ago. So today is that day. I bought a new fixture from Lowe's and let's go put it up. This was my first time changing an outdoor fixture, and I'm sure I did not do a perfect job, but here are the tips that I know and have learned in this experience. You want to make sure that not only are your wires well connected underneath your wire nut, but also that you don't have any of the wire exposed outside of it. Another thing I learned is that you want to point the wire nut upward before you attach your fixture so that if for some reason water does get into your fixture, it's not going to pool inside that nut around those wires. Which also leads me to the fact that you want to be sure to add caulking around the fixture once you're done to ensure that no water enters that electrical box. Have you ever changed an outdoor fixture in your home? If so, how did it go? Do you have any tips? Don't forget to comment down below. sure you've noticed that there have been plenty of outfit changes throughout this video, and that's because, frankly, things have a tendency to take a little bit more time than I think they will in my mind, including the caulking drying around my fixtures. But luckily, it is finally ready to go, so let's head outside so we can finish this spooky glow up. As you can see, I've started bringing in the flowers I collected and placing them around the porch and entry area, along with a couple pumpkins I picked up. Check out this adorable mushroom rug I discovered at World Market. I am obviously quite enamored by it, and I shall be bringing in my Halloween accents in shortly, but isn't that rug just the cutest? This is a cozy basket that my kitties like to relax in as they chill on the porch, and I'm just going to put it under the bench so that it's out of the way. I noticed when I was working on the light fixture that our trim painting was super shoddy and it needed some love. So I decided to do a quick side quest and touch up the edges while also painting the caulking around my new fixture. Don't worry, I won't make you watch me do all the touch-ups. They seemed to go on forever. I'm going to give my doors a quick scrub down, and it always surprises me how quickly they get dirty. I also noticed when scrubbing my front door that it needs a paint touch-up too, but unfortunately, I just did not have time to do that right now. All right, I finally feel like I can add the final touches, and I cannot tell you what I love more because I'm so thrilled with the way that everything's turning out. Also, are you guys doing any fall or Halloween decorating this year? Comment down below because I can't wait to hear what you're working on. I'm using command strips to display this cute sign I discovered at Dollar Tree, and I chose to pair it with some cast iron bats I picked up at Ross. Doesn't it look fantastic? This Hocus Pocus pillow was a thoughtful gift that my good friend Sarah gave me, and I plan to pair it with my large witch's toad that I purchased from Michael's a few years ago. I'm also including a purple spider lantern on the corner alongside my cauldrons and a skull near the doorway. It's finally time to add my DIY project and its spider companions on the door. I've thought about adding lights to the wreath to make it shine at night, but I truly love how it turned out. What are your thoughts? Here's a brief overview of the porch, and it looks like my kitties, Isis and Puka, are quite pleased with it. I will be sure to include any linkable items in the description down below in case you want to purchase some for yourself. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a temporary setup. I am going to be bringing in a whole lot more features to transform it into a mysterious witch's lair. So make sure you don't miss out on any of that fun by hitting the subscribe button and bell down below. Obviously, it is getting dark, but I wanted to add one last feature, a faux fire light bulb that gives the look of an oil lantern. I think this adds such a cool effect, and I will be coming back in the morning to do a daytime shot of how the entryway and porch turned out. But have you guys ever tried these kind of light bulbs before? They don't add a ton of light, is a con, I would definitely say, but the effect is worth it. Before I head out, I want to show you how everything turned out on the porch in the daytime. And coincidentally, as I was doing this, I decided it needed more. So I added a strand of purple, orange, and green LED lights I had on hand around the outside of the porch. I didn't feel like it added an insane amount, but it did help add just a little bit of extra light that I lost from that outside lantern light. Now, I am going to quickly add those, and then I will give you a sneak peek as to what this looks like at night as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and don't forget to let me know what you think of today's video in the comments below. This is the end of today's early Halloween porch makeover, and I really hope that you liked today's video. But until next time, my friends, I hope you have a spooktacular day.